Seth Rollins just did the unthinkable on WWE Raw, and I'm telling you right now, if you're not absolutely furious about what just went down, then you weren't paying attention. The architect, the man who destroyed the Shield, the guy who said he would never stand beside Roman Reigns again, just walked down that ramp and aligned himself with the tribal chief. Are you kidding me right now? After everything Roman put him through? After all those promos where Seth looked us dead in the eye and promised he was done with the Bloodline saga? This is an absolute slap in the face to every single fan who believed in him. And before we go any further, I want you to drop in the comments right now and tell me if you think this is the biggest betrayal in WWE history or if I'm overreacting. Is this worse than Seth turning on the Shield back in 2014? Let me know because I need to hear from you. Here's what happened, and trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this. Raw opened with Cody Rhodes celebrating his recent victory, standing in the middle of that ring like he owned the place. And honestly, after everything Cody's been through, he deserved that moment. The crowd was going absolutely insane for the American Nightmare, but then the music hit. That unmistakable Roman Reigns theme echoed through the arena, and the atmosphere completely shifted. Roman walked out with that smug look on his face, Solo Psycho and the rest of the Bloodline right behind him. He grabbed a microphone and did what Roman does best. He talked about how he's still the head of the table, how nobody in WWE can touch him, and how Cody's celebration was premature. The tension was thick. You could cut it with a knife. Cody wasn't backing down though. He fired right back at Roman, telling him that his reign of terror was over and that a new era had begun. That's when things got really interesting. The lights went out, complete darkness. When they came back on, guess who was standing on the stage? Seth freaking Rollins. The place erupted. Everyone thought, yes, Seth's here to help Cody. Seth's going to even the odds. The visionary made his way down to the ring, and Cody looked relieved. Roman looked concerned. This was the backup Cody needed. But here's where my blood started to boil, and here's where you need to tell me in the comments if you saw this coming, because I sure didn't. Seth stepped into the ring, and instead of going after Roman, instead of standing beside Cody, he looked at the American Nightmare with the coldest stare I've ever seen. Then he hit him. A superkick right to Cody's jaw. The arena went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Before we continue, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here on Wrestling Zone Insider. Seth stood over Cody's fallen body while Roman just smiled. That evil, manipulative smile that tells you he orchestrated this entire thing. The Bloodline surrounded Cody like a pack of wolves, and Seth just stood there, arms crossed, watching it happen. Then came the moment that confirmed everyone's worst fears. Roman extended his hand to Seth, and after what felt like an eternity, Seth shook it. The architect had joined the tribal chief. Now let me tell you why this makes zero sense and why fans have every right to be absolutely livid. Seth Rollins has spent the last year, maybe even longer, building himself as the workhorse of WWE, as the guy who shows up every single night and gives everything for the fans. He's been the locker room leader, the veteran who puts over younger talent, the man who carried Raw on his back through injuries and adversity. His entire character has been about redemption, about proving his change from the selfish, backstabbing persona he had in the Shield days. And what does WWE Creative do? They throw all of that development in the trash. They hit the reset button like none of it mattered. It's like they completely forgot about Seth's rivalry with Roman, forgot about how personal things got between them, forgot about how Seth said he wanted nothing to do with the Bloodline's politics. This is lazy storytelling at its finest, and it's insulting to the intelligence of longtime fans. Here's another question for the comments, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you think WWE is doing this because they are running out of ideas, or is there a bigger plan we're not seeing yet? Drop your theories below. The backstage interviews after the show made things even worse. Seth cut a promo trying to justify his actions, talking about how he needed to secure his legacy and how aligning with Roman was the smart business decision. Are you serious right now? Since when does Seth Rollins make business decisions like some corporate sellout? The Seth we knew would rather lose fighting for what's right than win by compromising his values. And Roman? Oh, Roman was eating this up. He welcomed Seth into the Bloodline like it was always meant to be, like this was destiny. He talked about how the Shield brothers were always supposed to rule WWE together and how Seth finally came to his senses. The disrespect to Dean Ambrose's memory, Jon Moxley, was palpable. The original Shield trio meant something special, and this cheapens all of it. Let's talk about Cody for a second because that man was left laying in the middle of the ring, blindsided by someone he thought he could trust. Cody's journey back to WWE has been one of the most compelling storylines in recent memory. He came back to finish his story, to win the title his father never could. And now he's got to deal with a superpowered bloodline that includes one of the most talented wrestlers on the roster? How is that fair? How is Cody supposed to overcome those odds? The internet has been on fire since this happened. Twitter is exploding with reactions ranging from shock to anger to complete disbelief. Some fans are saying they are done with WWE, that this was the final straw. Others are cautiously optimistic, thinking maybe there's a long-term payoff we're not seeing yet. And then there's a small group who actually love this turn and think it's going to make for incredible television. Where do you stand? Are you team this is terrible booking or team let's see where this goes? Comment below and let's get a discussion going. What bothers me most about this whole situation is the missed opportunities. WWE had a chance to build Seth as the ultimate babyface, the guy who stands up against tyranny and fights for what's right. Instead, they've turned him heel in the most predictable way possible. We've seen Seth as a heel before. We've seen him betray partners. We've seen him align with authority figures. This isn't fresh. This isn't innovative. This is just recycling old storylines with a slightly different coat of paint. And can we talk about the bloodline itself? At what point does the faction become so overpowered that nothing matters anymore? Roman's already got Solo, the Usos have been circling back, and now Seth? Who's left to challenge them? Drew McIntyre? LA Knight? They are going to need an army to take down this version of the bloodline, and even then, it's going to feel forced because the power imbalance is just too extreme. The Raw after this betrayal is going to be must-see television though, I'll give WWE that much. Cody's going to come back looking for revenge. The rest of the locker room is going to have to pick sides. We might finally see some of the younger talent step up and prove they belong in this main event picture. But will WWE follow through, or will they just use those guys as cannon fodder for the bloodline to destroy? Here's my final question for you, and this is important. Who do you think will be the one to eventually break up this new alliance between Seth and Roman? Will it be internal conflict, or will an outside force drive them apart? Drop your predictions in the comments because I'm genuinely curious what you all think. Look, at the end of the day, WWE is in the entertainment business, and this move has certainly gotten people talking. Whether that talk is positive or negative remains to be seen, but engagement is engagement, right? I just hope there's a payoff that makes all this anger and frustration worth it. I hope WWE has a plan that goes beyond cheap shock value, because if this is just a ratings grab with no substance behind it, then shame on them for disrespecting the intelligence of the fans who have supported this company through thick and thin. The wrestling world is turned upside down, and we're all just along for the ride. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns standing together again, nobody saw it coming, and now we're all left wondering what happens next. Will this lead to the greatest faction in WWE history, or will it crash and burn like so many forced alliances before it? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Raw just got a whole lot more interesting, whether we like it or not. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Wrestling Zone Insider for all the latest updates and analysis. We'll be covering every twist and turn of this storyline, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss what happens next.